He's so long and covers so much ground, and his rush is kind of unorthodox, but he does a good job at last second getting that edge and ripping.
I will say he had 2 or 3 sacks against us last year in the game. But it was and we blocked him.
It's hustle.
But it was all hustle.
Yeah. Burning the edge, 10 yards, whatever.
Nah, it wasn't burning the edge. It was, we got the edge, and then he'd just be like, where's Jalen? And Jalen would be escaping the pocket and push off.
Yeah.
And I'd be standing there why did he push off? And then I'd just see him, fuck, throw it, Jalen, please.
Gentlemen, I said we got the 2 most famous tackles in the NFL in the RV, and you said what?
We corrected him and said 2 most stressed tackles in the league.
Are you guys stressed? His new offense, is that stressful?
I'm always paranoid.
Yeah, it's not really stressful. Our system is stressful.
Yeah.
Everything carried over pretty easily. So.
Is it what?
Yeah. I mean, it's all the same stuff, but sometimes we'll have a quick version of a play action. We'll have a quick version of jet.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot more mixed in maybe what it's been probably since Chip was here.
Yeah.
Whenever Chip was here, we ran a lot of quick jump set type stuff.
Yeah. How's we talked a little bit about Huff?
He fast.
Yeah.
He fast. They got off his electric.
Yeah.
I think I saw something last year where his first on his 5 yards was him and Myles Garrett.
Really? And you can feel that when he gets off the ball.
Yeah, he's just fast.
Stresses you right.
Yeah, well, he does a good job, with the cross chop because he can gain those few steps inside and get a tackle to lean heavy and then hop out. He's really quick with that.
That dude's I stood next to him at practice.
Yeah, he's bigger. He's 265.
He's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
About this tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like a running back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
he's like a 6'3" Boston Scott.
He looks like
6'3" Boston Scott. Do you miss Boston Scott?
Yes.
I love Boston Scott. Was he in LA?
Yeah, he's the Rams.
Yeah. So, what about I saw Nolan Smith after practice, and the buzz is that guy's made a big jump physically. And well, I remember last year when he got here, it was hey, it's going to be a year.
Yeah.
But he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely stronger. Savvier, I think he has a plan, when he rushes people now. And then just his effort, he's a guy that never stops. So sometimes he'll chase a guy all the way to the opposite, sideline and just run the whole hoop. And he's one of those guys that's going to make a lot of plays off of that too. Yeah. It's just pure effort.
All right, so enough about the Eagles right now. Lane, we did some research. As people know, Lane comes on the show a lot, so I run out of fucking questions. So I did a deep dive on Kilgore JUCO. You want to talk to me about Kilgore JUCO? What kind of place that was?
Yeah, it was a place of they called it a MTXE, mental toughness extra effort. That was on their helmet, and I didn't get to the XE, son. It was all mental toughness.
It was all mental toughness.
It was it was my only shot. Really. All the people that go there, they either didn't qualify or they went to Division I, flunked out, have to get. It's
last chance of you.
Exactly. And I thought it was very accurate how they portrayed it because it is survival of the fittest. You have guys, they walk around with Florida, Texas Tech, pretty much where they want to be. They're advertising. But yeah, I had a so-so year. I kind of rotated a quarterback and then I played tight end, but. I saw some things there that I've never seen before.
Talk to me about a thing called the carpet gym.
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard this?
Well, it was a gymnasium, and for the floor, it was a concrete with a carpet on it.
Oh my god!
And
tell me what happened at the carpet gym.
So that's mental toughness right there.
No, but I heard about a certain punishment.
Oh yeah, no, they had they just had certain stations and. Yeah, man, it's we're going to make guys quit. Well, usually we would start the season with way over what we're going to allow on the roster, so we had to get rid of 50 guys. And so the first 2 days, bro, everybody was on.
You were just trying to make.
He was trying to kill people. We had a thing called screaming cats, where if you were late to a class or you're a felon or anything disciplinary, they'd make you hang from a chain link fence with your hands and your toes. They're called screaming cats, and you had to hang for time.
How long? I heard 30 minutes.
I don't know that long. Maybe.
No wonder he's got that grip strength, bro.
When you hear that, dudes hanging. What year is this?
For me, what year?
Yeah, what year are people hanging from their fingers and toes on a chain link fence is acceptable?
Maybe the Shaolin monks, but other than that, nobody. That's the first time I saw it, and I was 18.
Did you do it?
It sounds like a prison.
It does.
It sounds like a prison workout.
I wonder you're stressed still, dude. I've always been stressed.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, I went there and I went to OU and I got my ass kicked for a couple years because I didn't know what I was doing, obviously, tight end. And then one day I said, they moved me to tackle, and I've been here ever since.
But what does that say about, like, tackle if you have the physicality and you're big enough? Because you both came from non-standard backgrounds.
I think it's athleticism more than physicality.
Yeah.
There's certain traits you have to have.
Well, I think you guys are both athletes that have kind of converted and learned how to become offensive linemen, right?
And him much later.
Yeah,
a lot later. Like,
do you think that's good? Like, you know how some people, they say, like, the later you start, the better. Sometimes because you don't have bad habits.
Yeah, he didn't have any bad habits.
Yeah, you know, and then he gives you all the bad habits.
No, well, there's like I was telling, like, you look at all the guys that are 6'8", weigh 350 plus.
Yeah,
they can't move like him.
Right.
Like far as the bigger guys, I think he's probably one of the most athletic big guys that's played.
He really is. I mean, we're not stroking you. I mean,
no, I'm not stroking because you
functional athleticism.
You seen like the who was a big guy for Baltimore? That was Brian McKinney. Is that what it is? Yeah. When you see guys that big, they don't have the mobility this guy.
No, they don't. They don't. And that's what I was gonna. Here's what I ask you, Jordan, because you've never been on the show that I can remember. I don't think you've ever been on the show.
No.
So and I don't think we ever really talked about this. When you showed up, I always told you a story. I don't know if I told you this, but I had gone camping, and it was like 2018 in the spring. Came out of the woods. The draft happened overnight, and I turned on the TV, and they were like, "Yeah, the Eagles just drafted this 6'8", 350-pound motherfucker," and they're showing your rugby highlights, and they're like, "And he's going to play right tackle or left tackle," and I'm like, "I got to deal with this motherfucker every day." So I didn't know what to expect from you, and when you showed up in the beginning, I think the buzz around the facility was like, this guy's got a shot. Like, immediately, you could tell. And I always wondered what you called home and said after your first practice. Like, if I was your buddy back in Australia and you just walked off the field at Novacare, what did you call home and say? Like, is it hard? Is it moving too fast? Like, what did you call and tell your friends?
Well, I called my family and I said they lied to me. This shit's hard as fuck. They tricked me, got me good. I was just like, man, this is actually really hard. There's a lot more technique involved than what I was learning at that 3-month program I was in for the NFL.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He had 3 months to learn, and he had I just don't think he had any idea, like, what a training camp consisted of, how stuff was organized. And, I mean, even for guys that have played for so long, it's hard for us to grasp it.
I mean, it's a culture shock coming out as a rookie from college football where you played your whole fucking life for 4 years at a major program. So, like, I'm sure it was even more so for you. You have 3 months, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're in Philadelphia. Welcome to training.
Well, I got pretty lucky, man. The locker room that I walked into was pretty welcoming. Yeah. I mean, Ceylon was pretty welcoming. BG.
Well, I had no fucking choice. What was I going to do?
Well, I thought you were going to be a dickhead. So,
is that what you thought when you first saw me?
I was like, man, they're probably going to hate me. Like, who's this guy? Fucking just got drafted, has no playing experience. But I got lucky, man. The O-line room I walked in was very welcoming. Yeah. Taught me a lot of things every day.
When did it click? Like, was there I can remember in our career, I don't know about you guys, but there were, like, moments where I'd be trying shit, and then one day you just wake up and you get something, whether it's part of Pass Pro or what clicked for you and when was it?
So 2020 was, I got drafted in 2018, didn't see the field till 2020.
Yeah.
And I played that, like 11 or something games, started 11 games, and it wasn't until we came back for my 4th year in 2021 when the left tackle position was up for grabs. They made it a even playing field, me and Andre Dillard, and that's when everything, kind of started to turn on. The lights started to turn on. I just took off, just try to stack days on days, and every time I stacked days, my notes were like crazy. I'd write every single rep out, what I did bad, what I did good, and I think that helped with the progression of just the lights turning on.
Yeah, and Stout U,
Stout Lane University.
What? Okay, so when you were a kid, what was your first intro into American football? Do you remember, like, the first game you ever watched on TV? Or
Yeah, I remember Well, they would only show the Super Bowl because it was a good time.
Yeah.
It was like midday. So
That's what it should be, honestly,
like,
now.
well, not midday, like 10 a.m.
think.
10 a.m. to like 11.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the first game I remember watching was it was JJ Watt blocking a field goal, and I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy just jumped up and blocked the ball. I was like, what?
No, yeah.
No, that's
the
his
time
thing.
he was unblocked.
Oh, really? Man, I was like, yeah, I was like, what?
Most of the time he was unblocked.
I can't remember what year that was, but I was like, man, this is just crazy.
Was he unblocked because he was unblocked or because he
He's a freak.
unblockable?
He's a freak.
13, 14, 15, whatever those years were.
Yeah. Is that the best football, like the best defensive lineman? If you took a guy and said, hey, you got to pick one guy, 3-year period, who's the best that's played while you...
It's just different. Like, Aaron Donald obviously did it at a higher level for longer, but like JJ's, having that body type and being able to do what he did, it was unbelievable. So what he had close to 20 sack seasons?
20, yeah. And playing all up and down the line.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He would just go down the line and find the weak link and
That's crazy.
stay there if he found it.
It's a Wisconsin.
Thank God.
Wisconsin guy.
Thank God he's not playing anymore.
He was just super quick, and in the run game, he would make guys lean back, go back door. He was just smart guy.
It's a lot of freedom to really penetrate. Make plays in the backfield.
Let me ask you a question.
Penetrating backfield.
You hating it?
I'm not.
Because they didn't give him freedom, so he's hating on
They
JJ.
restricted
You can't give freedom as a white nose guard, right?
All right, so what changes? We saw Kelce out at practice earlier. I just want to say this: his head looks huge. Because he lost weight, so his head didn't change. It's true. That's why you're laughing.
He's got a.
It's okay. He has no control over your room anymore. You can fucking.
He's built like a wrestler, bro.
Yeah.
Just
Oh my God.
So let me ask you this: what changes with him gone?
I think Kellen's done a good job of simplifying and having answers for blitzes.
Yeah.
And having hots.
Yeah.
So simplifying the pass game and like protection calling.
Yeah.
And Kelce was our problem solver. And now that we don't have him, Kellen's come along and just again having hot reads, having answers to blitz zero, and then simplifying the calls up front based on the hot looks.
Where Kelce would make the calls last year, all of them.
Oh, everything.
Like he was like a QB
Everything.
out there.
yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
We had two QBs.
Yeah, I'm sure like you take it for granted because that's all you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've only worked with the center that runs the whole show.
Yeah, and it's kind of Cam's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Cam Jurgens doing a great job, and Cam's been our assistant. This is his 3rd year.
Yeah.
But even in those 3 years, or the 2 years that he's had Kelce, he's done a great job of trying to be like Kelce, and we see that on the field too. He's still, again, trying to problem solve everything, and then we get back in film, and they're just like, just call it, like just call that spot.
Right.
Yeah, just like bring the slide that way. We got a hot read for that, and it's like still new to us, because we have answers now.
What about pre-snap with you guys up front? Do you like motion? Does it make your job harder or easier when he's like...
If you're going to chip, that's the only thing I care about. Just chip with the tight end. I don't like the running back come out of the backfield and chip.
Because you don't know where
he's going to be, right?
Yeah, but I will say, with emotions, if you can get any defender out there to think or lose a step, I mean, yes, that's all they're looking for. So
you said that's interesting though, and most tackles feel that way. I'm sure they like a tight end chip.
Yeah, because it's right in front of you. Whenever, so usually if a running back inserts to the outside, that DN will make an inside spin move and get a sack.
We know it's coming.
Yeah,
we see it. You don't know when
you can almost use the chip as a momentum to take that inside move.
Oh yeah, we run TEs off that. We run up and under.
Yeah, we keep telling the tight ends and running backs. I tried to tell the running back coach. I was like, man, inside out chip is way better.
Inside out.
Way better than outside in.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I want to talk about the blitzing that you're talking about because obviously, like you said, Chris, Kelce called all the protections pre-snap. I mean, it's got to be nice when he's gone. Jurgens obviously getting a lot of reps. You said a lot of hot reads, different slide calls that are built into the scheme, but you also see a lot of exotic blitzes with Vic.
Oh, Vic, man. Holy shit.
That's got to be great practice for you guys working that.
Is that exciting when you guys are like, hey, it's kind of confusing?
Yeah,
we know they're going to confuse.
We're so used to basic defenses during training camp, and every now and then you see a defense like his 2 or 3 times a year, maybe. Yeah. But now we're getting all the hard stuff and all of our hard calls kind of out of the way. So when it goes back to playing other teams, it should be a lot simpler.
Hey, tell me about this guy because he's one of my favorite guys on your team. I never met him. C.J. Gardner Johnson. Is he a menace out there?
It's a power plant. Nuclear power plant. Yeah. You got to direct that energy in a good way. So.
Yeah. 'Cause there's a lot right there in
Yeah,
the core.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
It gets me fired up because I know I don't like playing against it. It gets annoying, but I know also when you have a guy that does that and can back it up, it does cause people to get pissed off.
He's like our version on defense of like a guard who does a little bit extra all the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Have you guys had a guy like that?
On the O-line?
Yeah, the like enforcer, kind of like
John Runyon?
Chippy. Well, yeah. And that's
I'm trying to
before
think
my
with
time.
us.
That's interesting. You never really had that one guy because you guys are all just so good and you
JP.
did your job.
JP was the enforcer.
JP was the enforcer.
Yeah.
But not that I don't ever think about JP as a dirty guy.
Being cheap. No.
You know, it
No,
just was
it'd be
like
cheap.
he was just gonna fuck you.
Like, I
up.
think of Ryan Jets when you say that. I played against him
Ryan.
in Bucks
Yeah.
in practice, and it was a fucking pain.
Yeah, he just wanted to hurt you.
Who's the guy that you guys have played against that you're like, that guy pisses us off every game and he's good at it?
No, man, we didn't really get.
You don't get pissed
Yeah,
off.
Too
really
pissed
get-
off.
I don't want to give that guy any.
Yeah,
any
yeah,
bulletin
yeah.
board
No,
material.
I will say Wilkinson.
Yeah.
That was with Miami.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah, Christian.
Yeah.
He probably talks the most trash out of
Yeah.
anybody.
He talks a lot.
Pretty funny shit too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
funny.
It's hard to talk shit as an interior
No,
defensive
he-
lineman.
he-
because
yeah.
you're
He was
gassed
saying
all the
some
time.
funny ass stuff in
He was, yeah.
the line, bro. He's just
Yeah.
like, man, do I laugh or what do you do, man? What do you do? Do I laugh and do I give him attention?
Yeah.
Do I let him win?
Well, you guys are
Yeah.
doing it now. You know, giving him attention. I hope he sees this. All right, so this was one that I wanted to ask both of you guys. I was going to ask Jordan, but I'll ask both of you guys. And these are rushers that Jordan has played against over the last couple of years. And I want you, when I say a name, tell me what makes him good. Okay, let's start with Nick Bosa.
Many
You guys
tools in
can
the
both
bag.
talk about this.
Many
Yeah.
tools in the bag. He's got a lot of moves
Yeah,
and high effort. Another high effort guy.
yeah.
But when you have high effort and can pull out any move, cutting on a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes him
when his
special.
cleats are in the
He
ground,
plays so
they're like-
low.
Yeah,
They're in the ground.
Plays so low.
he's
Yeah.
good.
And he runs. Him and Joey both kind of move with that lateral, kind of how
Yeah.
JPP, that side to side.
It's so funny because
Max Crosby's like that too. How
Yeah.
how their running is, and it can really create some problems.
when they're gaining ground, you don't know which side.
Yeah,
it
you
is.
don't know when to
Exactly.
punch kind of thing, or
It's,
what is
it's,
it?
it's like they're
exactly?
picking that edge. Which one
You
they're going
gotta
to
be
attack?
really patient with Nick with your hands.
Let me ask you this about Nick because he's obviously very strong.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a DE that's strong like that,
Yeah.
and you feel Nick, say you
Yeah.
closed your eyes and blocked him,
Yeah.
would you say D tackle? Like,
Yeah.
does he have D?
Especially-
I never asked you guys.
Especially against out there at a wide nine, and you might miss with your hands. It's like a fucking rip current, just fucking
Yes.
picks you up and sets you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the power you can stop the power, but his long arm,
That long arm.
It's tough.
long arm is
His
tough.
his spin move's really good because he doesn't telegraph it with his front hand.
Right.
A lot of guys will
Yeah.
throw that hand. He does a good job of
Well, because you can spin off this.
yes, that too. But a lot of times he'll just try to bend the edge, and then once you feels your
Yeah.
weight on him, he'll spin.
All right. Have you guys played Hunter from now he's with Texans?
Daniil?
Yeah.
So I had to block him.
He's the werewolf in the swamp. R.L. Stein,
last year.
R.L. Stein, werewolf in the swamp.
Goosebumps.
First of all, he came out there and
He
he
came
looked
out there. He looked like
fucking Carl Weathers
Oh my
and fucking-
goodness! He had biceps on biceps.
He
He
did.
was like, what the fuck?
So, do you do a fucking BFR?
Yeah, dude. BFR is blood flow restriction. They put a
like, what
thing
the
around your muscle if you're rehabbing, try to warm your muscle
get
up. It
that
makes you
pump.
jacked.
The boy came out. I was like, man, this guy just came out of bodybuilding competition.
He's so long leg and covers so much ground,
Yeah.
and his rush is kind of unorthodox, but he does a good job at last second getting that edge and
Yeah.
ripping.
I will say he had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 sacks against us last year.
Yeah.
In the game.
Deep.
But it was all, and we blocked him.
It's hustle.
But it was all hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burning the edge, 10 yards,
Just
like
like-
whatever.
Nah, it wasn't burning the edge. It was,
Yeah.
we got the edge, and then he'd just like, oh, where's Jalen? And Jalen would be like escaping the pocket
Yeah.
and push off.
Yeah.
He's
And I'd be
long.
standing there like, why do you push off? And then I'd just see him, fuck,
Yeah.
throw it, Jalen, please.
Hey, do you guys yell throw? Throw it? You guys yell that a lot?
We all kinds of things.
He's coming, Jalen, watch out. He's coming. Get rid of
I'm
it.
sure you've heard it.
I've heard it. Not playing you, but I've heard it. How about, because I was asked to rank the rushers. I'm not going to ask you to do that because that's bulletin board material.
Yeah, it'll piss everybody off.
I had to apologize before I did it. I was like, I'm sorry to all these guys who are better than me, but I'm going to rank you 1 through 5. How about Micah Parsons? You know, you don't know where he is.
Fastest get off in the league.
Fastest.
And most explosive guy in the league. Yeah. Him and Miles.
He'd be a great rugby player because he can, like, cut on the dime.
I think he can play running back.
Stop on the dime. Redirection.
He could probably play safety if you really want to. Yeah. He's that fast.
He's not that big.
No, he's bigger than you think.
I met him.
Yeah, he's probably
like 6'2",
6'3",
yeah.
250.
He's so quick.
Yeah, strong hands.
Strong.
I shook his hand and I was like, damn, okay, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and he does a good job at that tilt. And like I think a couple times I overset last year, and he'll really take that inside and create some havoc. But he's so quick to that point where the tackle has to either ride him high or make an inside move, and he's so quick.
Yeah.
He's like a bobcat.
He's like a bobcat. Yeah, I love the way
Lane's one-liners
he puts everything into like Animal Kingdom terms.
Yeah,
like the first time he told me about JPP's rushing style, he was like, "Man, he runs like a lizard, like one of those lizards that's running through the desert." And did you play? You played him at in JUCO, right?
Yeah, that was my first game.
And I heard he was doing backflips.
Yeah, and then
30 yards straight of
backflips to a win.
I saw him do that shit down in Tampa. It's incredible.
Yeah. How about TJ?
Tough.
He's
so smart too, but he's strong. I think people underestimate how physically skilled he is. He's bigger than you think.
Yeah.
He's stronger and faster than you think. And he's he does a good job of setting tackles up all game and then really
cashing it in on the one rush.
Yeah. He's so smart.
That was something I wish I knew earlier in my career to play.
I think he looks at stances. He looks at stances. Guys, when he comes to the line, what are they doing when it's a run? What's the tackle doing with their eyes versus a pass? So he studies all your movements.
Yeah. Give me an Animal Kingdom comp for Myles Garrett.
Lion, tigers, and bears. Lion, tigers, and bears.
Oh my!
Lions.
He might be
Tigers.
I know we're not ranking people, but in my opinion, he might be the best because he's the most dangerous to me. Like he can wreck your whole.
Well, people don't think that he's 6'4", 280.
Yeah.
Getting that low, it's like Julius Peppers, but even more twitch and bend.
He doesn't read like 6'4", 280 when you're around him. Like, you know what I mean? How some people, they walk up and you say what's up and you're like, man, that guy's 6'8".
It's like Usain Bolt out there.
Mm-hmm.
His get off is...
But
he stays so low in his get off. Watch his first 5 yards. He's like at hip height. So it's like you're moving that speed and that force, and you get under the tackle. He's
got that dorsiflexion.
Yeah.
How about Joe Ostman?
Like a lion?
You remember Joe Ostman?
Hey, you talk about smoking now.
Yeah.
You talk about smoking. God damn it, PTSD. PTSD.
He hit me up the other day. Eagles fans probably don't remember him, but he was on our team for a couple of years. He was a special teams guy.
Man, high effort.
Bro, he was an amazing rusher.
He had the best hands.
I will say, man, Smoking Joe.
He got everybody better.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Smoking Joe.
Shout out to Stephen Means.
He used to piss off, Stephen Means.
Hey, he used to piss off JP, Smoking Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Because we'd have walkthroughs. Smoking Joe would be there. He didn't give a fuck.
No.
He's got one speed.
How about those rushers that now you're kind of at the age and you're at the status where you know, like, you're not the guy going hard. You're going hard, but you're not going as hard as some of these camp bodies.
I still go hard.
Yeah, I know you do.
Because of Smoking Joe.
Because of Smoking Joe.
I take every walkthrough. I can't get off the ball.
The fear is the greatest motivator for us.
Right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that something that you guys are at a place in your career where you're so established and great players, but like you're never not paranoid?
Never. While you're in it.
We talk about this all the time.
Chris and I were talking about this today. It's like you can't smell the roses.
No, you can't smell it when you're in it because you're always getting analyzed. You're always getting criticized.
Yeah. And you're always criticizing and analyzing yourself.
Hey, on top of the world beating up on you, hell, we'd like to beat up on ourselves.
Yeah, no. Hey, join the fucking party.
We're beating the fuck out of us. We should walk around with boxing gloves all the time.
You think you hate me?
Yeah. Exactly.
We were out of practice and I was like, man, it's so cool because it's great to see you guys and everything, but it's also just cool to like, y'all are so cool out there, bro. Like we're just watching, we're like, these motherfuckers, look at all these fans. We were like, I never noticed this.
I was like, did they have fans when we were here, Chris? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like we watch and we're like, man, it's so cool to see you guys doing this, but when we were in it, we weren't enjoying it.
No.
You know, it's just hard to enjoy it, you know?
Because hell, it's a stressful.
Have
job.
you gotten any better at it though?
No. Oh wait, what managing it?
Yeah, managing it.
Yeah, I think as I've gotten older,
You've seen it.
I think things get into perspective more, and so I have like more. Okay, I'm just gonna let it be instead of letting things weigh me down. But when I was younger, you know, I feel like everybody goes through the hoorah stage where you're trying to establish yourself. And that was probably the most, you know, trying times in anybody's career.
Yeah,
we're in that phase of trying to become who you know what you want to be on film. And then, you know, you kind of live in self-doubt until you achieve it.
What was the jump for you in 17? Because I felt like 17 is where people started to really...
Yeah, I just think I played a lot of good rushers and I did well against them. So I think that was it. And just we were winning. So I think it's like the perfect recipe. But, you know, it's, like I feel like the right tackle position changed.
Over the years?
Yeah, I think Balaga was really good whenever I got in.
He was. I struggled to beat him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was a lot of good guys, but it was just never seen until, you know, you get these pass rushers now that just can really...
I still think about it.
Yeah, I mean, the pass rushers now, they're going to find the weakest link. Doesn't matter what position you play.
The fish is what we call you when you're there.
You got it circled up on the board.
We argue over the fish.
Yeah.
You guys were never the fish.
What is the fish?
I was the fish.
I mean, the fish is like the guy that like everybody wants to rush on.
Yeah.
You know, so we'd be fighting over one of y'all in the meetings before.
You're the guys that no one wants to rush.
Yeah,
over, like
you're the
Chris
guy
and Dallas.
like me and BG. I was telling this story the other day. We cut it out of the pod, but like me and BG were the only time me and BG ever argued was when we were playing Dallas in 2018. Remember that overtime game? Was that 18?
Was that?
It was real close in Dallas.
Yes,
Bro, and they beat us like guy tipped a ball like off his feet and caught it. It was like fucking.
I do remember because I did my back then and I was out for the rest of the season.
Well, I
In the
kind
warm-up, too,
of.
bro.
Tyron Smith had me wishing I did my back because he had Velcro on your boy when I go over to the right side, and I don't like rush on the right. Me and BG at the end of the game stood over the left tackle over what's his name, Lyle Collins.
Lyle Collins.
Oh, right tackle.
Right tackle. Until the ball was snapped. We had two defensive ends at left end because nobody wanted to go rush Tyron Smith. We were arguing the whole fucking game. We argued in the locker room over it. Like, I've never argued with BG.
Wake up with fucking tracks across your chest.
Yeah.
You fucking grab the holder.
Like, what happened to us? But yeah, no, all right, Lane, I did this with Kelce. It's time to do it with you. Okay? Are you a Hall of Famer?
I'm on the borderline, I think. Close.
I think you are. I really do. Maybe because I played against you and I know how good you are, but I also just think you are.
Yeah.
So you do think about that stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like as you get older, things getting put into perspective. It's like, hey, I probably most I have is 5 years. I could play 2 more years, so that's what my window is. So yeah, I just what you said. Like I try not to think about it when I'm playing. I try to stay in the moment, and then, like you said, all that stuff will come after. But yeah, I thought about it, but I think, now it's just I'm trying to enjoy my time, like with my guys, and not put too much pressure on myself, or it's something I can't really control. It's really up to the people you played against.
But you won a bowl, and you're a huge part of winning that bowl.
Yeah.
Like I don't think if we have you, if we don't have you, I don't think we win. And just the last half decade of football plus that you've stacked is like elite. And so I'm wondering if me and Beau can get front row seats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother.
Well, I want front row seats too.
We'll be, we're gonna all be
Include
right
me
there.
on
We'll be at Kelce's,
all right there.
JP's too. But no, I just feel like when you're a player, you're always chasing, and then once you get done, I don't know. It's probably it's going to be a tough transition phase for me. I feel like everybody goes through it, but then you get to really reflect and enjoy your time. Yeah. But like I don't know, when y'all walk up to the football field now, do y'all still feel any like PTSD or like stress?
Here's what I feel. I feel like, fuck, is everybody looking like he's here again? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Who's that guy standing over there?
Yeah, like, what the fuck does he think he owns the place? Like, he's just coming here with his podcast? Or, like, man, that guy wasn't that good. You know what we were talking about earlier?
That's how I felt.
I'm, like, watching the practice, and I'm like, do you feel weird because you're sitting here wondering, like, are these guys all better than you were? Like, I'm watching these young motherfuckers.
Yeah. No, I watch it, I'm like, some players will be like, God damn, how the fuck did I take on 30 double teams a game for fucking however long? And then other days I'll be like, yeah, I can play.
Yeah.
I can play, like, 15,
well, then you
20
watch
snaps.
Jordan Davis,
It's
you see Jordan Davis walk by, and you're like, nah,
Yeah,
dude.
nah.
Like,
I told Chris I felt small as fuck.
I'm fucking small.
He's a
I'm like the smallest tackle we have.
specimen.
Can we talk
That's
about those
wild.
2 D tackles, man? I love this Jalen Carter guy, man. Yeah. I think he's so capable of being one of the best to ever do it here.
Yeah, I told Howie last year during training camp, I said he's going to be the best player this year, definitely next year.
Yeah.
I know.
And you see it in camp, like him
making
bro.
I can tell if a guy can play very quickly.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, he's insane.
He's twitchy.
Well, it's not that he's a smart player.
Smart.
He picks up on stances. Really he calls it out. Yeah. He knows the calls. So, in addition to, he's 6'3", and he's wide, man, strong.
He's got that, like, torso flexibility on those counter
That's a
rushes,
big thing, dude.
I mean?
Yeah, his flexibility up top, being able to get skinny. Yeah. And
teach ball mobility.
That's something they don't, they can't, but they can't really measure that. I'm sure they do at the combine.
The Georgia strength coach.
I never was invited to the combine, so I have no idea.
Yeah, right, exactly. Let me ask you this before we let you go in a minute or two here, and the tackles have been so gracious with their time. What's harder, rugby training camp or NFL training camp?
Man, to be honest, I didn't quite make it to the top of the rugby league.
Yeah.
I will say the rugby training camps are pretty tough. They're longer.
A lot of running, right?
A lot of running.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely say, like, rugby, just because of all the running that you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, and I was playing, like, semi-pros, and I remember we had this one day, it was a beach run, and we woke up at 4:30 in the morning to meet at the first beach, and it's a coastal run.
How big were you then?
That was 3:15.
Oh, slim.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Yeah, little guy.
I was 3:15.
Because you had to run.
You had a six-pack.
To run.
Did you have a six-pack?
Yeah, you did.
At 3:15.
Yeah.
I need to privately send me some of those photos.
Okay. You got 5 guys on the Eagles roster you can take over to rugby.
Saquon, Lane Johnson, AJ Brown, Cam Jurgens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nasty. Just all effort.
Is he a nasty little motherfucker?
Nasty little fucker,
strong.
man.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
And the last one probably be Jalen Carter. Or Devin White. One of those two.
Saquon, how about his fucking quads?
Mine are bigger.
Hey.
Sorry, saying. I got lights. I'm just kidding.
Like
just
a
kidding.
damn...
Just a mutant.
A mutant.
Dude.
And y'all like him? He's cool?
I feel like I've known the bloke for like my whole career.
First week we were golfing and hit it off quick, but no, just him being able to flex out wide and do what he does, and just how fucking explosive he is.
Yeah.
He weighs 235.
But how cool is it now? When you got here, it was different. Obviously, since the Super Bowl, it feels like now when a vet gets here or a free agent gets here, they're so happy to be here, and it's like,
well, I think
it's like welcome. Like we have a way of doing things. We have a standard.
We did. We had a great culture. I just think ever since I've been in the league, my career, the vets have always been great, and they've always controlled kind of the locker room and the team, and not dickheads that criticize, but actually try to help and care for their guys. So it's not like that everywhere else.
When you wake up one day and you're that fucking
JP helped everyone.
JP was
JP
one that
helped everyone.
JP, I just want to say this. I've said it before in this podcast. He is one of the best vets I've ever been around. He wanted to help everybody in the locker room. Me, the young DNs, the tackles, DBs. Just a great dude. And he's done. Is he done playing or no?
I don't know.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? 40 years old doing it. Not gonna be you, is it?
22nd? No.
Okay. All right. Last question. Lane, I texted you. I went to a rodeo the other night. And I said I want to get on a bucking bronco. And you said what?
You got to wear a neck brace.
He doesn't think I can do it.
No, I don't think you can not do it. I think your neck might fucking snap in two.
Come out of the cowboy shop.
Don't these guys wear the stuff to protect their neck?
I think so, but they're wearing a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, you might want to find out.
Should I rather ride a bull?
Hell no. Hell no. The bronc is going to buck in a straight line.
Yeah.
The bull, you
but
don't
what
know.
I heard is some of those broncs that haven't been bucking for too long, they just kind of run in circles.
Yeah, well, are you riding a junior?
I would like to ride a junior.
Yeah, we'll start somewhere, but whatever you do, don't get on a bull.
I'll be praying for you, mate.
Don't get on a bull.
My dad, he was like, I was talking to the rodeo guys, he was like, don't do it. Just don't. He goes, you fucking played 11 years. Don't.
He's just doing side quests, bro.
I'm doing side quests.
Speaking of quests, we talked about it.
The pumpkin. You need to go on a pumpkin float with me.
How much does that pumpkin weigh?
1,200 pounds, brother.
Fuck.
He hollowed it out, and I'm in the middle of the season, and he sends me a video of him with a fucking paddle and a pumpkin.
I went 38 miles in that thing. We almost broke the world record.
Well, since we're talking about cyclists, can we talk about your grease pole run? That was...
Oh, that was incredible, wasn't it?
I just want to say the fit was
thing.
immaculate. The jean shorts was...
Jean shorts were in hindsight a bad choice.
Those apple bottoms?
Yeah, they were plump. All right, I wanted that fucking flag, man. The whole thing, the whole mission I had, Jordan, just between us and the rest of the fucking podcast.
And everybody.
I didn't want to split my legs like this because I knew I wasn't gonna make it. So I just didn't want to.
You actually did pretty good. More
Thank you,
fearless
Chris.
than I would have been.
Thank you,
Lane
man.
Johnson, Jordan Mailata, two of the best in the game, two of the homies. Thanks for joining us on the RV, fellas, and good luck this year.
Appreciate you.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, fellas.